and this update is for Tuesday, the 23rd of July, 2024, about 8:20 a.m. Central Time. You know, yesterday I was labeling the rally the Kamala Harris rally because obviously President Biden had stepped away from running for president again. It was her day. The market rallied, and it was a Monday. So Tuesdays you try to get reversals off, and that's pretty much happening in the stock indices. Now, better news for her as well. They claim that now she's raised over $100 million in the past 48 hours. That's very big. That she has enough delegates now to win the nomination, the virtual nomination, come on, what is that? I think it's August 7th. That's going to be right in front of us. She's got to pick a VP. That'll give her another boost, whatever it is. So we're going to get to a period here where it's nothing but boosts for her and the Democrats leading right into the Democratic National Convention. Do I now think there could be a brokered, if you will, convention? It's looking more and more like not. It looks as though the delegates are falling into place and they're going to stick with, instead of Biden, Harris. So right now that's how it looks, but it's politics. Things change like the weather very fast, but nobody else has thrown their hat into the ring, and I think that is important. Before we get too much further, let's take a look at the day's events. We just had Redbook weekly retail sales come out, and remember when these numbers were in the high fives, over 6%? Well, you can see how the consumer's been pulling back. I watched this morning as I was showering, and I'm sitting there and I'm looking, and they're showing a special on how people are going, and it's everywhere, on these special meal deals. Started with McDonald's throwing in their hat to it, and then everybody else joined in. Even when you're on the road and you go into some of these gas stations that serve food, they are joining into the fray. So the consumer is speaking. They're willing to put out the money, but they want a value for it. And that's why they're called value meals. Interesting. U.S. existing home sales data for June will come out this morning at 9 o'clock. The Richmond Fed, their monthly manufacturing sector index, that comes out at 9. And then at the end of the day, we're going to get the API numbers. Now, it is a huge week for earnings. And I mean, it's one company after the other. We'll have Tesla this afternoon, Alphabet, UPS has come out, GM has come out, but it's one after the other. And as a whole, the earnings are looking okay. Companies that don't hit them are getting hit and hit pretty hard. So that's in itself interesting. Do I still think the rotation is going on in the stock indices? Absolutely. I view this pullback as just that, a pullback, not the end of the bull market at this point in time. When we look at the bond and note market, they are up slightly. You're getting a bit of a rally in the beans and the corn market. Copper market down hard again. I thought the market could make a run for the 412 area. I think I'm getting my wish there. Why is this happening in copper? It's because China is not doing anything constructive. You know, you might think that's my opinion. I don't know if you look today at their stock market. It was down over 2%. So the market is looking at what China did with their third plenum and their ideas as to how they'll help the economy, and the market's not buying into it. In other words, it's more of the same, more manufacturing. The problem is, how much manufacturing can you do? You've got to get consumption at home. You've got to get the people's main investment, real estate, working again. Not happening there. Dollar slightly higher at the expense of a number of currencies, with the exception of the yen. And remember, come month end, we're going to see what the Bank of Japan does. The market is building into it right now, at least a radical change in the bond buying program, and very possibly the first rate hike. So that's how I'm looking at that market and what it's doing. Cotton still looks to me like a weak market, and all the energies are under some pressure today. And think about this. If you don't get the world economies picking up, why do you have energy prices this high? And that is what everybody's going to fight. Is this a good time for possibly our energy department to put out another tender? I don't know what happened with the last one. They haven't announced results. But if they did, they're under the price that they wanted to get it, at least basis the September contract. So we'll see what happens. You know, one of the things you want to look for on this break is outside day patterns. I don't know if you watch them. They happen a lot. This is a frequent pattern, and it's one of two things. It's either a continuation or the end of a move. And you've got to learn which ones they are, what the odds favor with it, and where you go. And because it happens so often, it's not something you can ignore. Just take a look. How many times do you see outside days? I created 9 video chapters. The examples are given in stocks, futures, and ETFs. And then in the mornings, to go along with this, besides the charting software and everything else that you're going to get, you're going to have access to my morning, if you will, videos. And those are not these. Those are my subscriber videos where I review this. You see them happen so often. I'll walk you through them, what's happened, what the market in theory should do, so on and so forth. To get the course, just go to iraepstein.com and go up and you'll see education. That is where it's at. You can call my staff if you have questions, and you can move your cursor to the top here if you should have any other. It'll take you right to the course, and everything's explained there. I'm Ira. You have yourself a great morning, and I will talk to you all at the end of the day with our end of the day reviews. Take care.